Huge changes are coming to Germany in 2026, and if you're planning to study, work or build a long-term life here, this is one of the most important updates you're going to watch. Anyone who still plans based on old information will run into real problems, and I don't want that to happen to you. Now let's start with all the money aspects. One of the biggest changes you'll actually feel in your daily life in 2026 is your hourly pay. Germany's minimum wage is rising to 13.90 euros per hour, and as a direct consequence of that, the mini-job limit also goes up to roughly 603 euros per month. And in 2026, Germany also increases the basic tax-free allowance to 12,348 euros per year. In simple terms, this means you can earn up to 12,348 euros annually before you pay any income tax at all. Now for international students, the work rules themselves don't change, but they suddenly matter a lot more. You're still allowed to work 140 full days or 280 half days per year. And during the lecture period, this usually translates to up to 20 hours per week. And during semester breaks, you can work full-time, so 40 hours per week. And this is actually where many students get confused. What really matters now is the type of job you have. Are you in a mini job, a meaty job, or regular employment? Each category comes with very different tax rules and social security contributions. And moving just slightly above a threshold can change your net income more than you expect. And here is something most students completely overlook. You're often paying too much tax during the year, and filing a tax return at the end of the year can mean getting hundreds, sometimes even thousands of euros back. So in 2026, filing a tax return still recommended for anybody in Germany. And living costs are rising across Germany, and this is no longer just a technical detail or paperwork issue. Understanding how your wages, working hours and tax status fit together can make a real difference in how much money you actually keep, and also how stressed you feel about finances during your studies. Now let's talk about full-time workers, especially graduates entering well-paid jobs. There is one more quiet but important change in 2026. Germany is increasing the ceiling for social security contributions again. And the effect is simple. Even if your gross salary stays the same, your net salary can go down slightly. And here is what that means in real life. So in Germany, you pay into different social systems like health insurance, pension insurance, unemployment insurance, and long-term care insurance. But these contributions are only calculated up to certain income limits. And in 2026, these limits increase. And that means a larger part of higher salaries becomes subject to contributions. So if you're starting in high income fields like IT, engineering, consulting or finance, slightly more of your income will be used to calculate social contributions. And the result is that your monthly take-home pay is a bit lower than before. Now to give you a rough idea, for someone earning well above the contribution ceilings, this can easily mean a few dozen euros less per month. Don't worry, it's not dramatic, but it's noticeable. And this is exactly why many people are surprised when they see the first German payslip. The gap between the salary written in your contract and the amount that actually arrives in your bank account is much bigger than in many other countries. Now, if you want to understand this in detail, I have a full video breaking down German taxes and deductions where I explain exactly where your money goes. Now, one more important change coming in 2026 is about fairness and transparency at work. And by June 7th, 2026, Germany has to implement the EU Pay Transparency Directive. And what this means in practice is very simple. So job ads will increasingly show salary ranges, and employers will have to explain how salaries are calculated inside the company if someone asks. And for companies, this means more paperwork and clearer rules. And for you, it means fewer guessing games and a much better idea of whether a job offer is actually fair before you sign anything. And there is also a big update when it comes to protecting international workers. Now, starting in 2026, employers who hire workers from non-EU countries will be legally required to give them clear written information about a national advisory service. And this national advisory service exists to help foreign workers understand their rights, things like pay, working hours, contracts, overtime, holidays, and social insurance. And this is really important because many internationals accept job offers without fully understanding how employment works in Germany. And that's where a lot of problems start. Overtime goes unpaid, working hours quietly exceed what's written in the contract, vacation days are ignored. Or the contract itself is structured in a way that puts the worker at a disadvantage. and this sucks if you don't understand the language and the country. Now, to be clear, this new rule won't magically fix everything, but it does create a safety net. So from 2026 onward, your employer must tell you exactly where you can get independent help. So if something about your job feels unfair, you're going to have an official place to ask questions, often in your own language or at least in English or German. I'm going to keep you updated on changes like this on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. Now let's talk about immigration itself, because this is the part that most people misunderstand. There is no brand new immigration reform in 2026, but the huge Skilled Immigration Act reforms from 2023 and 2024 are now fully live, and 2026 is the first year where everything is stable, consistent and widely applied across Germany. Now the opportunity card is important to mention because it created a lot of excitement and hype, but also a lot of unrealistic expectations. So in a nutshell, the opportunity card allows non-EU citizens to come to Germany for up to 1 year to look for work. It uses a point system that rewards education, experience, language skills and age, and you have to score 6 points to be eligible. But it is not a guaranteed job route. You know, Germany already issued thousands of these opportunity card visas, and many people still struggle to find employment because the job market expects German language skills and practical experience. And many people think that the opportunity card guarantees you a job, but it doesn't. It only guarantees you the right to search. And the job still depends on German skills, your experience and the market. If you plan to use it in 2026, you need to be realistic about your profile, whether you should apply via the classic job seeker visa, the opportunity card visa, or the skilled worker route with a job offer already in hand. And you always have to check the financial proof requirements before applying. Now, studying in Germany also comes with changes for 2026. We have the blocked account amount, which is the minimum money you must show to get a student visa. And this one gets adjusted on a regular basis and might increase again by 2026. And this amount is linked to the official cost of living for students and tends to go up every 1 or 2 years. And many students still plan using outdated numbers. So if you plan to apply for a German student visa in 2026 or 2027 or in any other year, always check the latest official number and add a safety margin for rent, deposit, health insurance, and also the first month of living expenses. Now, for many people, the financial requirement is the hardest barrier to overcome. I also created my own scholarship to support one student in 2026, so make sure to check that video out on my channel. And finally, let's talk about citizenship. This one is one of the topics with a lot of misinformation. The new nationality law that came into force in 2024 is now fully applied in 2026. And under this law, Germany allows dual or multiple citizenship. And this means Germany no longer forces you to give up your original passport. However, whether you can actually keep it still depends on the laws of your home country. Some countries allow dual citizenship, others don't. Now, for most people, the standard path to German citizenship is now 5 years instead of 8, as long as you meet the requirements. You might still hear people talk about a 3-year fast track to citizenship, and that option existed in the past for a very short time, but it was later removed. But even with that correction, Germany still offers one of the fastest and most generous citizenship paths in Europe, especially because you no longer have to give up your original nationality on the German side. But here's the most important takeaway: knowing the rules helps you survive, but it is more important than ever to actually learn German. So next, watch this video about the best way to learn German as a beginner. Love you and stay focused.